And welcome to another episode of Experts Speak. I am Michael DeLon. Today I'm talking with Rachel Minion. Rachel, welcome, and thanks for spending some time with me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. It's going to be a great chat. Rachel is founder of Rockstar and Moon, which is a fractional CMO company for B2B marketers. So if you're marketing to other businesses, you need to listen up because Rachel's been doing this for a while, and well, she is the marketing rock star. So you'll notice the guitars in the background and everything. So I can't wait to dive into this and understand more about how she can help us really grow our businesses. So Rachel, tell me, how in the world did you get doing what you're doing today?
Well, believe it or not, there's times in your life where life just throws you a curveball. And for me, that was when my parents' business collapsed. We were
Mm,
printers. It was the 2008 recession, and all the government contracts for printing dried up. That government
wow,
printing office, it was done. And so one by one, our clients were paying us in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then they closed.
wow.
One of our biggest clients, Fritz Camera, bankrupt. So no printers, no clients. And 2010, we were closed. And it was really hard being a woman in printing at that time.
Mm-hmm,
Finding a job was almost impossible because they didn't believe I could do all the things that I could. It was
mm-hmm.
a printing company, so I knew how to do estimating, production management. I could run a press. I could go run the bindery. I could go work on any machine. And in most cases, they thought I just worked for my dad and showed up when I chose, not doing the things, right?
That's right, kid candy.
So, there I was, unemployed and basically homeless. I had to move into the place that I had rented for the summer, which was a cramped 8-person beach condo. It was
Mm-hmm.
a 3-bedroom, and trying to figure out, okay, what do I do? Because this is going to end soon.
Yeah.
So now what? What do we do? Where do we go? And, you know, I was like, okay, I'm sitting behind the world's greatest rock and roll bar. I'm staring up at the stars and the moon. And then it all came together. I'd always been told that I was a rock star. So put it all together. And here's Rockstar and Moon. It's a side hustle that could help me make sure that not only am I growing my skill sets, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
also being able to make some tangible change for small businesses.
Mm.
And that's where it was born. And I never thought I was going to do this full time. Fast forward a few years, and I'm running a division of marketing at Ticketmaster, and I loved it. Every day was, a different musical experience. My first year, I saw 275 bands,
Wow.
275 different artists in one year. And it was awesome. So going the full time route just never seemed to make sense. Then the pandemic hit,
Oh,
and
yeah.
no events, no Ticketmaster. So just like that, I'm on the Zoom call with about 80% of my teams, and
Yeah.
we're all furloughed.
Wow.
So that afternoon, I made the decision. I needed the push to be able to get into something where I could do it myself and be able to actually make the impact that I want. That was it.
Mhm.
I called up all my clients and went full time that afternoon.
Wow. How very cool. And what year was that?
Oh, that was 2020.
2020. That was a great year too. All right, so let's talk about what you do. How do you help businesses who are really marketing business to business? That's your sweet spot.
Yep.
What are the struggles they're having that
I,
before they come to you, what's going on?
I think that one of the biggest challenges on whether you hire marketing or you don't is the decision to do something. The decision
Mm,
to do nothing is one of the biggest competitors that there is, right? It's
yeah,
fine, it'll keep going, but you see your referrals are drying up and you're not sure how do you get cold traffic and convert it.
yeah.
But what I believe is that there's this credibility infrastructure that needs to happen. We all
Hmm.
have these amazing networks. We all know enough people that could keep our businesses going or that could do the next introduction. Nobody just knows about it and knows about our success. So that's what we start with. And we help our clients to prop up their credibility infrastructure so they look and become those industry experts that are called on. So when you think of me, you know exactly what I do. You know
Mm.
where my business is. And when something comes up where you hear it, you know to call me for that.
That's really good. That's really you just hit one of my favorite words, which is credibility, because I think it's missing in so many. I mean, most business owners sound like what I would say is Charlie Brown's teacher, right? They
Hmm.
don't have a message, they don't have a brand, they don't have anything, and so people ignore them and overlook them. So what you do is kind of first step is help them bolster that brand so they become a rock star per se in their world, in their audience, in their market, and then they can start getting some traction with some other things that you bring to the table, right?
Absolutely. And the key here is you're doing great things in your business, but nobody knows about it.
Yeah,
So if you have this amazing story of how you helped transform this company to do X to Y, let's make that front and center on your website. Let's get the case study. Let's get the testimonials. Let's build you up as the expert that you are, because if you're not shouting it from the rooftops, your competitor is.
that's right. Yeah, and not about you, right?
Mhm.
And what talk about the importance of having an outside set of eyes like you looking into a business versus the business owner trying to figure it out themselves.
I'm of the belief that marketing your own business sucks.
Yeah.
It is the worst thing in the world because you don't have the ability to just step back and say, is what I'm saying making sense? Is it going to resonate? Is it clear? And is it compelling? And so having that fresh set of eyes to ask you and to question those underlying assumptions that you have really gets that to another level. Now, if you're marketing your business and it's great and you're doing cold traffic, wonderful. But if you're stuck, if business is stagnated, I know, we all waited for the election to be over. And then once the
Oh yeah.
election's over, business picks up again. But if it's not picking up again, start looking at that message. Do somebody who just visits your website in 3 to 5 seconds, do they know what it is you do? Do they
Mm-hmm.
see themselves in the story of your clients? Can they see that you can get them a win? If not, that's a missed opportunity.
Right. Absolutely. And okay, so how do you? I mean, we could go down lots of rabbit holes, right? But you and I are siblings, I think, in another world or something, because you're speaking my language. Um, Talk about how do you work with business owners? Because you're a chief marketing officer. Do you come in and take over? Do you help them teach them and their team? How does it work for a business owner, just generally?
you know, I founded this company on the premise that I don't want to work with you forever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I want to be able to get you so good and growing that you don't need us anymore. So I can train your team how to do this all internally.
Mm-hmm.
So we start out, and some of our clients, I'm a fractional CMO. Some of our clients, we bring in the fractional CMO part and we bring in the execution part to get you off the ground and you growing. And as soon as you're growing, now let's see, how do we help fit the right pieces into place for you? And that's really where we want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So not only do we have the plans for what it is we're going to do, how we're going to help you, the strategies, the tactics. I mean, if you look at our website, you'll find there's 20 different playbooks, there's frameworks, there's all those things to help you grow. But then what do you do next? How do you get there? A little bit of strategy. Let's figure that out. Let's get the right team members into place.
Mm,
Let's get you moving and growing. And not only that, but making sure that content engine of yours continues to pump out those incredible stories.
yeah, because it really, we always tell our clients that yeah, stories carry the day, right? That's what people remember, and like you said, it's what they see themselves. They connect themselves with that story of, oh, I'm like that person. They help that person. Maybe they could help me. Let me dive in more. Let me have a conversation. It's a process. And what we have found, and maybe you can speak to this, is so many times on websites, I mean, the first call to action is schedule a call with me today. And I'm like, it's too soon. There's no, right? Do you find that?
The ask too early. I know that they've compared it before that it's like dating and asking for marriage instead of that. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
Here's what I believe. If you're not compelling enough that somebody wants to call you and now your first piece is just call me based off a social post, we're not there yet. I
Right.
want to be able to understand who you are and I want to see that you've won for others before I'm ready to pick up the phone. And quite frankly, I'm the girl that if you tell me to do something, I am not going to do it.
Right.
But if you intrigue me, I will 100% reach out to you on every channel that there is to get in touch.
Yeah. It's yeah. It goes back to that old, nobody wants to be sold, but everybody wants to buy. And we want to walk at our own pace. And I think that's the other thing. Business owners sometimes are struggling so much, they have to have business today. Or I'm going to go. And it's like, if you're in that, all right, there are some ways to get that, right? But that's not how we build business. We build business by being that expert with credibility that people want to come to, because you've got not only the right message, but you got a, I don't even know what the right word is. A persona. You've got a vibe that I like, because there are lots of people who do what you do and who do what I do, right? So we all have our own little tribe. Do you help business owners understand that? Because sometimes they tend to be just kind of too focused on what they do.
I think there's a level of understanding your ideal client, and we start there. We
Mm,
start there with every single client that comes in. Who is your ideal client? And we put it front and center and say, okay, so now we're going to go get them. How do we get them? How do we talk to them? How do we work on the messaging of that? And now, in the meantime, they may be cash strapped. So they may say, okay, but I'm going to take this client, this client, this client. And it diverts their energy. And they
yeah,
don't see it, because next thing you know, they're doing all these weird custom things that they can offer, but it's not that core offer for that core ideal client. And there's no way they're going to be able to grow from that.
right.
Great, they're doing busy work, but how do we get the right pieces in play so that you can grow and you can say no to those who are a time suck to you and that you don't want to do the work for?
Yeah, absolutely. Now you've got I peeked at your website a little bit. You've got like different levels or different programs for different types of entrepreneurs, because some people are, they like to do it themselves. Some people don't want anything to do it and they need guidance. Snapshot that, and then let's talk about where you really shine for clients and how you get traction for their marketing, their business.
Well, we believe in small businesses. I believe they are the backbone of our community, right? It's because if we can support small businesses, they're supporting themselves, their families, and their communities. It's that little league team. It's all of those things that really make an impact. So we've built the business to be able to scale. So whether you're small and just starting out, we have a technology offering where you can do it all yourself. We have
Mhm.
full-time support with that. Okay, you ready to go to the next step? Are you ready for just marketing strategy? Great, we can do that for you. Oh, you need strategy and execution? We can do that for you as well. Okay, great. You've now grown. You have internal people, but you still want the strategy part? We can absolutely do that and accommodate that. And that's one of the things we really pride ourselves on,
Mhm.
because the more small businesses that we can serve, the greater our impact.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, and you give business owners seemingly different on ramps depending on where they are.
Absolutely.
It's not a one size fits all. Here's the binder. You got to fit into this, right? Because that just doesn't work for most small business owners. Because we're all,
Well, and
go-
every single business is unique, and
yes,
what they need at the time is unique. And are they currently spinning with 150,000 different things that are busy work and shiny objects? Probably. But at the same time, maybe they've never marketed their business and it's all been referral, and then the referral stopped. So
hmm,
what do we do to jumpstart that?
right, yeah. And so many times the business owner is sitting there going, I don't know what to do. There are so many voices. There are so many shiny objects out there, and all my peers are doing this. I need to do that. It's
Uh-huh.
like, stop, stop, stop.
Like, I need to get on TikTok. No, you don't. Your
Yeah,
client is not there. You are spending time, effort, energy to go create something for a whole other channel where you're never going to get a client. Your clients are on LinkedIn. Your clients are on Google. Your clients are here. Your clients are there. They're at conferences. How do we
yeah.
talk to them smarter?
Yeah, and it takes sometimes a voice of reason to be able to just have frank conversations and go, okay, here's the reality of the situation. And yeah, I mean, I tell clients, I mean, your clients are everywhere. Your prospects, they are everywhere. They're on TikTok, they're on LinkedIn, but that's not where they predominantly are. And as a small business owner, you don't have the money to be everywhere.
Well, you don't have the money, but you also don't have the time and energy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are spending time on a channel like Facebook and it's not doing anything for you, it's not growing, you're not getting clients from it, is it really the right place? If you're
Right,
dumping a ton of money into ads and they've done nothing for you, is it worth it?
right. Yeah. And
Not
and
at that moment.
and I think business owners get too emotionally involved in things, and so they procrastinate pulling the trigger and saying stop, right? Whereas when you have somebody from the outside, a marketing officer like yourself, you can look at it, you can run the numbers, you can say, okay, here's what we're doing. This isn't working. Now, let's change the message, maybe let's change that, but let's test it. Okay, we're going to pivot. We're going to go over here, and it's I think many times, and tell me if you fight this battle. The business owner, they're experts at what they do. Let's call them an attorney. Doesn't matter. They're great at the law, which means they're great at marketing and they're great at sales and they're great at finance. And no, it's not.
Well, I
But
think the hardest part is on top of that, they want to be doing the work. They don't necessarily want to be the sales engine, the marketing engine, all of those things, and have to think about that critically because they want to do the work.
yeah,
Now, if you're awesome enough and you've grown and you've been able to figure all these pieces out, and now you're able to exit those parts of the business, wonderful.
right.
But
Yeah,
you don't want to get back into marketing and get back into sales if you don't have to.
that's right. Yeah, and that's what you've put together is a uh, what am I calling a suite of services? Let me call it that way. Where business owners at whatever level, honestly, starting out, you've got the kind of the done for you process with all your playbooks and all of that. You've got a strategy opportunity where you can help build some strategy, some branding. You've got the done for you aspect where somebody can come and says, I need more. I don't want to do it. You work with them as a really an executive in their business, as a chief marketing officer team, where you're not. And I saw something on your website which I thought was really cool. It's not that you just come in as a chief marketing officer and say, okay, here's the strategy now, go do it. It's like, no, 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 no. You're actually helping implement and keeping track and holding people accountable and all of that, right? Unpack that because I think that's missing in a lot of places.
Well, there's so many companies that say, okay, you're going to pay us. We're going to do this engagement and we'll do this consultation for you in the world of marketing, right? And then at the end of the consultation, I deliver a deck. And the deck
Yeah,
is, oh, here you go. Here's 75 million things that you need to do to fix your business.
right.
And the business owner is looking at him like, huh? Now I have to pay you more to go do this? Like,
Right.
I don't believe in this system. I have broken the system. I said, we're not going down that path. We start immediately with the fixing because you don't want to pay me for a strategy and then me have to explain the full set of the strategy. So then you can then go explain it to somebody else. If you have team members there, let's help get them on board. Let's get them moving in the right direction. So we're all getting some forward progress. Then let's take a minute and say, okay, so now what do we do? Is it that we need to bring on this team member? Do we need to look to see that this team member right here isn't performing? How do we make sure that we're getting you results and we're doing the right thing for your business?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's great because that right there is a voice of reason that I think business owners really need is a. It's one thing to hire a marketing firm to run ads. It's a different thing to have a chief marketing officer who actually comes in and builds strategy, executes, is responsible for the results and all of that. It's a different level of communication, of connection, of trust, of okay, you're in this with me, right? Okay, let's
Mhm.
go. Versus you're just a vendor. There's a big difference there. Fair?
Well, there's also the level that we had a client and they brought us in and they had just hired a woman for marketing. She's starting out, but there's no way that this one person in marketing is going to be able to do email, social, strategy, execution of all these other pieces, market the website correctly, all of that. The one person can't do it. Two people can't do it. Sure, you can share responsibilities, but at what level do you actually need somebody to get out of the weeds, look
Yeah.
down and say, hey, wait a minute, here's the three things that aren't working. Let's move them to the side. Let's focus on these and bring in a couple new activities.
Yeah.
And there's a very big difference in the world of marketing because in most places, you don't have somebody who can do absolutely everything. There's no way that that's a thing. And
Right.
so now you're looking at doing the most of what you can with what they have the skill sets for. But there's a whole world. I mean, how many technologies of marketing do we have? There's millions.
Yes.
How many different tactics are there? There's millions.
Yeah.
all of that can really be utilized in a better way if you have the right strategy and they have the right eyes on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Strategy. Wow. We've talked about that for decades here, and strategy first, tactics later. And anyway, I want to go there. We have Rachel, you and I have so much to talk about, and I've got so many more things that I want to share with my audience, but I think that would do a disservice to you and to them probably. So let's do this. Um, how do people find out more about you and find out some of these playbooks? Or how do they engage with you? How do they learn more about you in this really kind of unique way you've put together a company to come alongside other companies and to really help them grow? Where do they go?
Go to rachelminion.com. That's where it can all start. And I'm the marketing rock star. It's very simple. We'll get you there. So if you're looking for Rockstar and Moon, you can get there from my website, or you can visit rockstarandmoon.com, and we can help get you started. And let's have a conversation and see if we can help your business.
I love it. I love it. RachelMinion.com. I just have this vision of you having all these little yellow guys behind you executing all of the things, right?
Well, wouldn't that be divine?
It
But I
would.
just feel like it'd be crushing that brand instead of rocking mine.
It would be, but it's fun because you've got a great brand, you've got a great strategy, and you've got a great heart to help business owners. So let me just encourage you to go find her, rachelminion.com or Rockstar, that's with two R's, Rockstar and Moon. Just you'll find them. Go find out what she's offering, how she can help you get some traction, get things going, and then really build a great position, a great brand, a great strategy that's actually going to work. um, have the conversation. It's really worth your time and effort to do that because we all know marketing can be very challenging. When you find somebody who's kind of figured it out and who is a little rock star at it, you should go to her concert. How about that? um,
Get the backstage pass.
that's right. That's right. Rachel, thank you. Thank you for what you do, for how you help business owners, for showing up vibrantly, and for sharing so well with my audience, and for being a great guest on Experts Speak.
Thank you.